Hello everybody, it's Wendy here from the Indigo Blue team with a really quick and easy project using some of the papers from the last magazine. That's the Mixed Media Special number 8. It's an easy tag and I'm going to use some of the cutout elements from the papers, but we'll come to that in a minute. First of all, I'm going to create the background for my tag. I'm using a plain manila tag and I've got a little bit of white tissue paper. It's just bog standard tissue paper that came from some packaging. So the first thing I'm going to do is just scrunch this up, excuse the noise, and scrunch it up so we get some lovely creases and things in it that will give us some texture on our tag when we glue that on. So I'll just put that to one side. I've got some Slap It On mat, which I'll pop out onto the glass mat at the side of my craft mat. Put the lid back on, and I'm just going to coat this tag with the Slap It On mat. I'm actually going to put a bit of magazine paper underneath so I don't get the glue all over the surface that I'm going to be working on later. So lots of Slap It On, give it a good coating, and then with the scrunched up tissue paper, I'm going to place this on here, and I want the creases. I don't want to smooth the creases out, so I'll pop it on and get as much of that creasing as we can. Okay, we'll put Slap It On over the top to secure it. And get those creases glued down. I'll go right to the edge. And then I want to just check that the edges are sealed, because obviously we're going to trim that down. We could, I suppose, fold it over and under. Okay, so that bit's quite easy. You can see it's starting to curl because one side is wet, so the paper that's wet is reacting to that. Okay, so I'm going to scoop my Slap It On back into the container so it doesn't get wasted. And I think that should be okay. Right, just a bit of clean up on there. Right, so I'm going to put that to dry and I'll be able to come back to that later. But I've got one here that I did earlier this morning that's now nice and dry that we can continue with. It's picked up a little bit of ink from somewhere, I'm not sure where, but that doesn't matter because we're going to be adding some ink in a minute. So I'm just going to trim this back and sort of put my scissors at a bit of an angle to get right underneath. Makes a difference having the sunshine outside and not having to have my light on. Okay, that's looking fine. Everything seems to be attached. Oh, a little bit there. Might just need to put a spot of glue under there. But the fact that that's a little bit wet is not going to stop us getting on with our project. Right, so the next thing I want to do is to add a little bit of colour, just a hint of colour to this. And I'm going to use some burnt sienna. It's a translucent paint. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that out onto my mat. So really, if I can find my palette knife, there we are. Just a little bit. Small amount, and I'm going to brayer this onto the tissue paper. You know, I'm always the one who puts their finger in the paint and gets finger marks everywhere, don't you? There we go. Right, so I'm going to brayer this on. Oh, I've got a sunshine now, a shadow, never mind. And the brayer will just pick up where those creases are, because we've got a little bit of a raised area, and it gives it quite a nice organic looking background. Maybe a bit more. Okay. Just take some of that at the edge back a bit, but I shall probably edge it with something anyway, so that's not too much to worry about. And just wipe off that bit of paint that's on the brayer. Okay, let's put that to one side. And just clean my fingers a little bit. Okay, so that's where we've got to. I'm going to put that to one side just so that the paint can dry, and bring in the one that I've already got to this stage earlier. So that's over there. Okay, so the bits from the magazine that I'm going to use are some of the elements that are on this page here. So I've cut out this one and this thanks a bunch arrangement, and there's a third one. That's 1, 2, oh, and this one here, this one. So I've already fussy cut those, ready to pop onto my tag. Here we are, here they go. So I'm going to just attach them really simply. I'll probably put some foam tape on them to raise them up as we get to the bottom. But initially we'll go for some glue. here. I thought I'd washed this out. I've been away for a few weeks and things have dried up a little bit while I've been gone. So I'd washed this out, but clearly not washed it out enough. Let's just take that off. And I'll use a bit of a brush. And I want that just on there. It's really warm today, so I think things are drying so quickly. I usually like to have a bit of wriggle room. There we go. I'm going to put this one on some tape or foam pads. Okay. And this one will need some tape at the bottom to raise it up. But need some glue, so I wanted a bit of pad just here. I nearly broke the rule there, which says put your pads while they're still on the sticky backing so that you don't get the glue all over your scissors. Now I've lost where that was going. Right under those petals here. And there. Right, I've cut. Can you see how I've cut through there to weed out that space? Now I just need to make sure that that is sort of stuck back together when I stick it down. So I'm going to take a tiny sliver of foam tape to go over there. I'll move this back into where the camera is so you can see. And the same with that piece there. Just take that sliver, and that should be enough to make it look like it's whole. won't glue up on this top bit because that's going to stick to the flower that's already in place. And let's see how that looks. Rid of some of that curl. Try and centre that. Okay, that's looking fine. Bits are stuck down that need to be stuck down. So I'm going to edge this with some distress ink. It will probably be, I think, vintage photo to tie in with what's there. So I'll bring that in with my dauber. That's looking a bit past its best, but it'll see this through. It just adds a nice sort of vintage look to it. You could use distress crayon, and you could move that with a wet finger, which would give a nice finish as well. It's a vintage photo. Get rid of some of this rubbish. And then to fasten in at the top, I've got a little bit of lace, a bit of cream lace that works with that background. I'm going to pop that through. I never know if I like it that way or if I prefer it the other way. I think I prefer it the other way. So I'll take that out. I always forget, am I coming through from the back or through from the front? So I think I'm coming through from the front. And then I get the loop at the front like that. And then in my stash, I found this little tassel which fits really well. I think this has been dyed with some indigo blue paint. I think we did it on a retreat ages ago, so it's been just in a box of stuff left over, and it's perfect. It goes really well with this. So it's threaded onto a little bulb pin, and I'm just going to hook that in there. This should be the easy bit. I don't think I like that there. But I do want to use it, so I might. Yeah, I think it'll go there better. So I need to make a hole. So I'll just push that through. And another one. That's better. I like it better there. I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue onto that. Actually, there's glue there, it's just come unstuck. Just to keep it down. And there we have it, a quick and easy tag, really simple, using some of the elements from the magazine, just fussy cut on a background that's made with tissue paper, scrunched up tissue paper with some brayered paint to bring out the relief lines. Hope you like it, and if you make anything, do share it on our Indigo Blue Facebook page. See you soon. Thank you. Bye.